And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling, and what we're going to go through today is creating a life of freedom for yourself. We got to understand the principle of freedom. What does that mean? You know what it means for you, hopefully, but let's look at the opposite of freedom. It's bondage, it's slavery, it's being confined, it's not being able to do. It's the opposite of power, being powerless, being desperate, being needy, having difficulties, having problems, being sad, being like just in darkness. You want to create light, you want to create happiness, you want to create joy, you want to create abundance in everything. There's no either or. You want to have all and everything. And that's what we're talking about in this video. So I like to divide it up into three categories of life. You've got family, you've got fitness, and you've got financials. In terms of family, let's think about this. Marriage is getting a lot of bad rap these days. And basically a lot of guys are saying, I don't want to get married because it's like I hear about what's going on in other people's marriages and I just don't want that. Well, you got to understand that that is a retreat. You are basically giving up on the thing that very often, not always, but very often creates the most joy in a man's life. That relationship with a woman, that long-term, consistent, exponential growth relationship with a woman can and should be fantastic. And it should be your most treasured relationship that you love more than anything else on planet Earth. That kind of relationship is possible. It is difficult, for sure. But once you understand the process, you can enjoy the journey and the results. Not only is that relationship important when it comes to family, but it also has to do with you creating a next generation. You setting your imprint on planet Earth, you leaving a legacy through your children. Kids are important. You want to be able to bring kids up in this world that can make a difference, that can change things. But it first starts with you. So, in what ways do men live in bondage when it comes to marriage and family? Well, I look at it in two ways. You've got the one way, which is, I don't want to get married. Trust me, it's not worth it. These guys are living in bondage because they never get to experience it. They never get to see what needs to happen in order to create a happy family, happy marriage, and happy life. There's a reason why people in marriages who actually make it work have the statement, happy wife, happy life. There's a reason. And they choose to stay married. Very often the people who have that statement. Happy life, in my opinion, cannot be attained without a happy wife. Now, for all of you guys out there who are basically saying, well, I can be single and I can be happy on my own. Yes, you can be. But it will be at this level. Do you understand? Like, you've got women in your life and women suck and it's difficult and it's hard and relationships and all that stuff. Yes, you can retreat and give up on women. Just cut it off. Yep, I'm gonna go MGTOW from now on. I'm men going on their own way. And basically, now you don't have to improve. You don't have to change. You don't have to do anything. There's no immediate feedback anymore about how much you suck. But isn't that a problem? Don't you want to improve yourself? Don't you want to actually make things happen in your life? Because if you do, then it would make sense to take upon yourself the challenge of a woman who gives you immediate feedback so that you can change, improve, and become the man that you were supposed to be. What happens when you massively improve and create abundance in that area of your life? Guess what? Your happiness grows. It intensifies. You create joy and happiness. Solitude is fantastic, and it's important in the beginning of your life, and it's important if you don't understand the woman. You don't want to take upon yourself the burden of a woman that has problems when you yourself have a lot of problems. Fix your problems, then take upon yourself someone else's problems, and then solve their problems and see them shine and serve you back and enjoy that relationship. This is in terms of marriage, and this is in terms of business. It works the same way. Fix your own problems, then fix other people's problems, and you will be rewarded for that. So, bondage, in terms of giving up on women altogether, it's a retreat. You're limiting your happiness, you're limiting yourself, you're limiting your growth. The second aspect of bondage is in terms of getting inside a marriage and continuously being depressed and bitter because you didn't accomplish your goals, because your wife and you didn't achieve this and that, and basically she's bickering and nagging on you all the time, and you are trying to escape very often by going to work. This is what guys do. We're happy at work because at work we get recognition. We're happy. And then we come home and we're like, why are you not doing this? Why are you not giving more money? Why aren't you doing that? And then we're like, and then the next day we're like, okay, I get to go to work today. I don't have to spend my time with this, nagging bitch. I'm just saying, this is how men think these days. And then they go to work and they're like, oh, friendship and co-workers and let's do the work, and then they're like, oh man, can I work overtime? That's bondage too. Again, you're giving up, but at the same time you're like, yeah, but I want to keep the marriage relationship because I want to keep the sexual, I don't want to go back to not having sex on a regular basis. Bondage. You've got to set a bigger goal. You've got to establish that family relationship and say, this is my goal, this is how I want my relationship to be like, and I will get there. But first, it's important to remind my viewers, my male viewers, that women come last. Okay? We always say ladies first, and that's true in marriage, but women come last. First you establish yourself, first you establish your empire, first you take care of your own shit, and then you take upon women's baggage and women's problems and women's everything. And then you conquer that too. And make sure that you massively create exponential growth and happiness in that relationship for your kids and your next generation. All right. Moving on to... just one reminder on this one. I'm going to talk about that in terms of the other two as well. The way you attain that intense joy and happiness from your marriage and your family relationship was because of the truth. The truth gave you abundance. The truth gave you freedom. Understand the woman, you will understand the world. That's how it works. You massively increase your wisdom, you will do better with your woman. But no, guys are like, no, I don't want to read a love language book. I don't want to read about, how to work with women. Or you've got to study the material. You've got to immerse yourself in the wisdom that has been attained by other people who are living the life that you are not. Get rid of that ego. The ego is not going to help you to create abundance. The ego is going to keep you in poverty and bondage and misery. Get over yourself. Okay? Self-improvement is critical. Other people are living a happier life than you are, and they wrote a book about it. You should read it. Okay, next step. In terms of health and fitness, bondage and health and fitness is saying to yourself, Oh, my body's giving me so much problems. I got back issues. Oh, I gotta say, these past few weeks, I've actually had, my lower disc a little bit. Something's going on there. And I'm like, I can choose to complain about it. Even self-talk for me is complaining. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I hate complaining, and I don't complain at all to other people very much. Only if they can actually help me with my problem. And then, to myself, I also don't complain. I basically look at, how can I solve this problem? How can I do this? And I start searching for truth. And we've got YouTube. We've got so many other ways that we can search for truth these days. That's amazing. Thousands of years, people haven't had that. If you're not tapping into the wisdom of your peers, of the people who are succeeding at a higher level than you are today, you're missing out, man. Like, the reason why I'm fired up about life is because I study. Is because I immerse myself in the truth. Is because I want abundance in every area of my life. And I know that there are thousands of people who are living a life of abundance in the thing that I want abundance in. I just need to find those people and start living the life, or start applying the principles that they apply in order to have that joy and happiness. So I see gymnastics, and gymnasts and all those guys who are like doing bridges, with their backs and stuff like that, and like do amazing things with their bodies. And I'm like, okay, so it is possible. So I can actually fix my back. Great. And so I set a goal, and then I move towards it. You can do that too in every area of your life, including health, including your weight, including everything. You can create abundance. Those guys that you compare yourself with, you can not only get to their level, but you can even dominate them in the future. Simply because you take more action, you set in better habits, you create better consistency in your life, you'll achieve it. Wow. It's the truth. Truth will set you free. And in terms of optimal health, you want freedom in terms of your optimal health. I want to be able to play with my great-great-great-grandchildren one day. Do you understand? And be able to run around with them and not be tired. And not be like, okay, I gotta sit down. Like, I'm 30 years old and I've already had that experience where it's like the kids want me to flip them, there's a mattress on the floor, and then I flip them, I hold their legs, and I basically toss them up in the air, and they try to land on their feet. I actually have some cool videos about that. But after like 10, 15 minutes, I'm like, oh man, I'm tired. What a waste, man. Those kids are having a blast. And I love seeing them happy and joyful. Why would I not take care of my body and take care of my optimal health so that I can give them what they want? You serve others, they will make you happy back. And there's nothing that makes us happier than seeing kids laugh and have fun. That's why people save up their entire lifetimes to go to Disney World. Once. To see their kids having a blast. Exactly. You want that for your future as well. You want to go from bondage in health to a massive abundance and massive freedom. And how do you do it? The truth. The truth is out there. You can find it. It's readily available. And it's your fault that you're not taking care of it. In terms of the two things, and the last thing I'm going to talk about as well, remember, you are always the problem. You suck right now in many areas of your life. Of course, you're good at some of them, but that's because you focused on it. You studied it. You applied what you learned from other people before you. You can do that in every single area of your life, but you got to start with one, maximum 3 things at a time. You can't do everything all at once. And that's why massive action is so critical, because massive action allows you to get finished with one thing and develop that as a habit so that you can move on to the next thing. Take massive action and then move on to the next thing. You understand? Being tired, helpless, and desperate will never get you freedom, will never get you abundance, and it won't get you truth. So you can't have joy and happiness in that circumstance and it'll be an exponential decline until you die. Or, cancer, heart disease, all of those things, death, cancer, heart disease, joint problems, all of the things that happen to men at a later age only happens because men lose motivation. One of the richest men in Norway today, Olav Thon, he's 93 years old and he's still loving his work. He loves it. And he's got purpose. And he doesn't have health issues. Of course, he's 93. He's going to have something that he hasn't remembered to focus on. You know what I mean? And therefore have issues. But he could actually progress in each of those areas of life if he had the truth in those specific areas of life that he's struggling with. Do you understand? There's a solution to everything. Next and last thing, and which is the most important in my eyes, to create that optimal health and optimal family situation that you want in the future, and that is your finances. Literally. Poverty is, if not the biggest, one of the biggest problems in society today. Poverty. The fact that people are poor, it puts them in a habitual mindset of poverty in all areas of their lives. How easy is it for a person who doesn't have money for food and who doesn't have money to take the bus to get to work? How easy is it for them to think, oh, there's a solution for everything. Oh, there's a massive abundance in this world and I can accomplish this and that and the other. That's hard. That's really difficult. So that's why you need to make sure you're never poor. Poverty is not acceptable in this day and age. Poverty in terms of living from paycheck to paycheck, or not having a paycheck, or relying on the government for a paycheck. It's not acceptable. You've got to take the next step. Understand that there is a solution. No matter how poor you are today, that mindset can be changed with the right input, with seeing what is possible, with having YouTube and seeing the rich people, successful people, and absolutely loving them. Remember to love the rich. If you don't love the rich, you're never going to have what they have. Why would they want to work with you and cooperate if you hate them? Love the rich, guys. Love the wealthy of the world. I wrote a Facebook post the other day stating, I love the mega wealthy. Let's take a moment in time and appreciate them. Did I get hate for it? Sure, of course, because people don't get it. But I'm literally so passionate and excited about the mega wealthy that have provided all these goods and services for the comfortability and easiness of our lives today. This is the easiest time in history for us to live than any other time on planet Earth. We should appreciate that. We should be grateful to the rich because they did that. We should be grateful to the inventors, to Henry Ford, to Thomas Edison, to all those guys. Thank you, Lord, for sending them. And do you understand? We should be doing that. But we don't. Maybe we should start doing that. Bondage, poverty. Never remain in bondage when it comes to money. You want to get that one out of the way quickly with passive income so that you not only have money. Don't think in terms of money. Like how rich are you? Wealth is measured in time. I'll probably do another video on that. If you want to learn more about how to develop wealth and how wealth is measured in time, comment down below. Make sure you like and subscribe and do all that stuff too. But I love talking about this stuff. This is my favorite topic, one of my favorite topics. You got to understand, how can you achieve wealth? From the truth. From the people who have succeeded before you, learning from them, applying the same actions, doing the same thing that they've done, having the abundance mindset. Suddenly, whoa! Now you've got wealth. That's how everything is created, guys. Get the truth. Love the truth. Apply the truth in every area of your life. Create abundance. This is what we were designed to do. And amazing things are going to happen in your life. This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I will see you again tomorrow.